Okay, so we are on the module number 3, data link layer. We are talking about the various responsibilities of the data link layer. We have completed with the error control and the flow control. In the error control, flow control and the framing techniques. Okay. In the error control, we have seen many techniques like the error detection technique, error correction technique. In the framing, we have seen about the various methods like the bit stuffing, by stuffing. And then in the last lecture, we have discussed about the flow control. Okay. The meaning of flow control is maintaining the rate of data at the producer side as well as at the consumer side. Okay. So at the producer side, there should not be higher rate of transfer so that the receiver is not able to process all the data. Okay. And it should not be happen that the processing rate at the receiving side is more than the sending rate. Otherwise, many of the data are going to be lost. Okay. So for that, we require the flow control technique that if your data is more at the receiving side, we should inform the producer or the sender to stop and wait for some time. Okay, so for that, we are using the buffer. Okay, buffer is, we can say, the one type of memory that are used at the sending side as well as the receiving side. When the buffer is slow at the receiving side, we are informing the sender to stop the transmission, and when the buffer is empty, the receiver will inform the sender to start the transmission. So various protocols are designed for this flow control technique. Some of the protocols are simple, stop and wait, go back and selective repeat. We have seen simple and stop and wait. Go back and selective repeat we will see in the transport layer. Okay. Simple is for noiseless channel, stop and wait is for noisy channel. Okay. And these all protocols are based on ARQ, it is the automatic repeat request, that if the acknowledgement doesn't come within the time limit, then sender has to retransmit that frame again. Okay. So first protocol is simple protocol, in which we have seen that there is no flow control, there is no error control. Okay. Whenever the sender has to send something, it will directly send without worrying that it will getting any acknowledgement or not. Sender પાસે જેવો કંઈ data આવે છે, it will directly send to the receiver, and we will assuming that uh, there is no noise during the transmission. That means there is no packet loss. Okay, that means whatever the sender is sending, the same thing will be received by the receiver. Okay, so this type of protocol is not possible for the real-time communication. So the modification required for such type of protocol, the first modification of the simple protocol is stop and wait protocol. Okay. So what happens is stop and wait protocol, we will send the frame and then we will wait for the acknowledgement. Okay. So frame મોકલી દીધી અને એનું acknowledgement આવી જાય, then we can say that our transmission is successful. Okay. So we have seen this example that in this we have seen three types of frames. Okay. So in the first frame, we have sent and we got the acknowledgement, that we can say that our first frame transmission is successful. The second, the frame is lost. So we are not getting the acknowledgement within time limit. So the sender has to retransmit that frame again. And the sender is getting the acknowledgement. So second frame transmission is successful. In the third case, the sender has sent the frame, receiver has sent the acknowledgement, but acknowledgement is lost. Okay. If the acknowledgement is not come within the time limit, sender has to retransmit that frame again. So sender has resent the frame. So what is the problem here? Here at the receiving side, we have the two copies of the same frame. Okay, so to reduce that duplicate problem, we require some modification to the stop and wait protocol. That modification is we need to assign the sequence and acknowledgement numbers. So જે frame send થાય છે તેની સાથે we are adding the sequence number, અને જે acknowledgement receive થાય છે, for that we are adding the acknowledgement number. The sequence number start from 010101 and the acknowledgement number start from 101010, like that. Okay. So here we have seen the same example, like the frame 0 is sent. Okay. Frame 0 is sent, then we are getting the acknowledgement number 1. We have seen that the frame number sequence number always start from 0. Okay, so for the first frame we have the sequence number 0, for the second frame we have the frame number 1, for the third frame we have the frame number 0, and acknowledgement number start from the 1. Okay, so acknowledgement number 1 then acknowledgement number 0, then again acknowledgement number 1, like that. Okay. So we have sent the first frame, so our sequence number is 0. In the response, we are getting the acknowledgement number 1. Okay. One another thing to remember about this thing is, જ્યારે આપણે if we are getting the acknowledgement number 1, okay, here sender is getting the acknowledgement number 1. The meaning is sender has to send next frame as frame number 1. Okay. જે નંબરનો એક્નોલેજમેન્ટ નંબર આવે તે નંબરની આપણે ફ્રેમ મોકલાવવાનું. ઓકે, અહીંયા આપણને એક્નોલેજમેન્ટ 1 મળ્યું છે, સો વી હેવ ટુ સેન્ડ ફ્રેમ નંબર 1. આપણને જો એક્નોલેજમેન્ટ નંબર 0 મળે, then the sender has to send frame number 0. ઓકે, તો અહીંયા આપણને acknowledgement number 1 મળ્યું છે, તો sender has to send frame number 1. Okay, but our case is the frame 1 is lost during the transmission, so we are not getting the acknowledgement, so we need to again resend the frame number 1, and again we are getting the acknowledgement number 0. Okay, the frame 1 transmission is complete. Now again in the third case, frame 0 is sent. Receiver has sent the acknowledgement number 1, but acknowledgement number 1 is lost during the transmission. Okay, so acknowledgement number 1 is lost, so sender will assume that the packet is lost. Okay, so sender શું કરશે, it will resend the frame number 0. So here we are sending the frame number 0. Okay, but here what is the problem, that if we are sending the acknowledgement number 1, we are expecting the frame number 1. Okay, at the receiver બાજુ આપણે જો acknowledgement 1 મોકલતા હોય, then receiver is expecting the frame number 1. Okay, but અહીંયા આપણને frame 0 મળે છે. receiver ને જોઈએ છે frame number 1, but receiver ને મળે છે frame 0. So that's why frame 0 is discarded. Okay, so if frame 0 is discarded, that is not a problem. We have the duplicate copy of the frame number 0. Okay, so by that way we can reduce this problem of duplicate frames. Okay, frame 0, if the frame 0 is resent, the receiver can find out that this one is the duplicate frame. How it can find out? The reason is receiver ne જોઈએ છે frame number 1, but it is getting the frame number 0. Okay, so in the response it is sending the acknowledgement number 1, and then we can say that the third transmission is also successful. This is about the stop and wait ARQ, and these two protocol we have seen, that is the simple and stop and wait ARQ. Okay, so these are some exercise. Okay, I will provide you one assignment that you need to write down the answer and you need to submit this. Okay, so I will provide this assignment at the end of this week. Okay, so you can get the idea and you can start your work. Okay, okay, and the last concept we have seen is the PG backing. The meaning of PG backing is જે આપણી એક જ ફ્રેમ છે, ઓકે, that is solving our two purposes. Okay, જે આપણે એક ફ્રેમ મોકલાવીએ છીએ, that is solving our two purposes. That means આપણે frame 0 મોકલાવે છે, એની સાથે we are sending the acknowledgement number 1. Okay, so suppose it is a bidirectional communication. અહીંયાથી ખાલી communication is only one side. Sender થી receiver બાજુનું only one side communication is there. If it is a bidirectional communication, okay, suppose receiver જો sender ને કઈ મોકલવું હોય, then we require the one frame plus one acknowledgement. Okay, so we require two extra messages for receiver to sender communication. Okay, rather than we can take this approach that is known as the PG backing. So frame 0, and in this we are getting the acknowledgement number 1. So acknowledgement number 1 is સાથે we are send our data. Let's say our frame number 0 from receiver to sender. Okay, now ફરી પાછી જ્યારે frame 1 send થાય, એની સાથે we can send our acknowledgement number 0. Okay, so we can say that our one frame is solving the two purposes. It is working as well as the data, as well as it is working for the acknowledgement. Okay, so this is known as the PG backing approach. Okay, so this is all about the flow control technique. Okay, so we have completed with the 4 responsibilities of the data link layer, that is the error control, then framing, flow control, and now we are talking about the addressing. Okay, so we have started in the module number 1 that three types of addresses are used in the networking. Okay, these 3 types of addresses are: one is the IP address, second one is the MAC address, and third one is the port address. Okay, IP address is used at the network layer. Then port address is used at the transport layer and MAC address is used at the data link layer. Okay, so we know that at the data link layer we need to worry about the MAC address. Now you can have a question that when we are sending the data from one source to the destination, why the IP address is not sufficient? Okay, જ્યારે આપણે sender થી receiver ને કંઈ પણ data મોકલાવીએ છીએ, at that time why we are embedding our source IP and destination IP. જે કંઈ પણ data મોકલાવીએ છીએ એની સાથે we are embedding our source IP and destination IP. So you can have a question that what is the need of MAC address? Okay, so you can the answer is when we are sending our data from source to the destination, it is not the thing that all the packet or all the frames will go to the same path. Okay? For example, let's say कि આપણે our source is our PP Samadhi University and destination છે આપણું સુરત. Okay, તો let's say આપણે જે ડેટા મોકલાવાનો છે સુરત સુધી ડેટા મોકલાવવા માટે we can have a multiple roads are possible. Okay, for example PP Samadhi થી એક રોડ આપણો સપોઝ એક કામરેજ થઈને જતો હોય, ઓકે, બીજો કોસંબા થઈને જતો હોય. ઓકે, so it may possible that our same type of data, okay, એક જ ડેસ્ટિનેશનનો ડેટા છે that can go from the different paths. So same thing is possible about the networking. Okay, for example આપણે Google server પર કઈ query લખી છે, okay, so that query it is not like that it is going from the same path. Okay, suppose એક path જો તમારો congested હોય કે એક path પર કોઈ તમારી link broken હોય, so it may possible that એક જ જે મેસેજ છે એનું સેમ મેસેજનું એક પેકેટ તમારું એક પાથ પરથી જાય અને બીજું પેકેટ તમારું બીજા પાથ પરથી જાય. ઓકે, સો એટ ધેટ ટાઈમ વી કેન નોટ રિલાય કમ્પ્લીટલી ઓન ધી સોર્સ આઈપી એન્ડ ડેસ્ટિનેશન આઈપી. ડેસ્ટિનેશન આઈપી ક્યારે જરૂર પડશે? આપણું જે છેલ્લું રાઉટર છે ત્યાં આપણો ડેટા પહોંચી જાય, then we should know that તમારું ડેસ્ટિનેશન કયું છે. At that time we require the destination IP address. Okay, but for the intermediate communications we don't require the destination IP address. Okay, so for that, for this intermediate communication we require the another type of addresses. This is known as the link layer addresses of the two nodes. So we know that the link layer is responsible for hope to hope delivery. Okay, so જ્યારે આપણે it may possible જ્યારે આપણે Google server પર કંઈ પણ વસ્તુ સર્ચ કરતા હોય, so that data is passed to the multiple routers. Okay, so તમારા સોર્સ પરથી D4 રાઉટર પર જવા માટે, D4 રાઉટર પરથી સેકન્ડ રાઉટર પર જવા માટે, સેકન્ડ રાઉટર થી થર્ડ રાઉટર પર જવા માટે. ઓકે, so we require such type of addresses. This is known as the link layer addresses, or it is also known as the MAC address. Okay, so for example here we have seen this figure in the module number 1 that our data link layer is mainly responsible for hope to hope delivery. Okay, let's say our source is A, destination is D. Okay, so if you want to reach from A to D, you need to pass through some intermediate routers. Okay, so intermediate routers are, let's say, B and C. Okay, so between A and B we have one link. Okay, between B and C we have one link. Between C and D we have the one link. Okay, so for this type of communication from A to B, okay, from B to C and from C to D, we require the MAC address, or we can say that link layer address, or we can say the link address. Okay, the various names given to this MAC address are, it can be identified as link address, it can be identified as physical address, or it can be identified as MAC address. Okay, so how it is going to be work? So we have seen that example. Okay, જ્યારે આપણે A થી D પર કઈ ડેટા મોકલવાનો હોય, તો first thing is we are generating the packet generate કરીએ. Then on the transport layer we are adding the port address. જ્યારે આપણો network layer પર આવે છે, at that time we need to add the IP address. Okay, IP address કઈ રીતે add થાય? So first thing is we need to add the source IP and destination નો IP કઈ રીતે મળે? So for that we are using that DNS server. Okay, DNS server પરથી આપણને D નું IP address મળશે. So these two type of data, source IP and destination IPs, are added on the network layer. ફરી પાછો એ ડેટા આપણો data link layer પર આવે. At that time we need to add the MAC address. Okay, so MAC address કઈ રીતે મળે? So we have seen we have performed this practical in, I think, experiment number 2 or 3. Okay, we have seen about the ARP request and ARP reply. Okay, so જ્યારે આપણે A B ને કંઈ પણ ડેટા મોકલાવો હોય તો A require the MAC address of the B. Okay, so for that we are using the ARP protocol. Okay, so for that we have seen the concept of ARP broadcast and ARP reply. Okay, so we will again see this figure again. Okay, so the thing is, for the hop to hop delivery we require this MAC address. Okay, A B ને કંઈ પણ ડેટા મોકલાવો હોય તો A require the MAC address of B. Okay, અને A ને B નું MAC address કઈ રીતે મળે? For that we are using the IP address of the B. Okay, using the IP address of the B we are generating the ARP request, and that is broadcast to the every devices that are connected with this A. Okay, but reply કોણ કરશે? તો જેના ડેસ્ટિનેશન નું IP B ની સાથે મેચ થતો હોય તે. Okay, and by that way we are getting the ARP reply. Okay, we'll see that figure again so you can have a clear idea. Okay, so what can be size of the MAC address? So MAC address are unique 48-bit hardware number of a computer which is embedded into the network card. Okay, so it is generally known as the NIC address. Okay, જ્યારે આપણે કોઈ પણ હાર્ડવેર પરચેસ કરીએ તો એની સાથે we have the NIC card, network interface card, અને એના પર there is one address that is already embedded. Okay, so it is known as your MAC address. Okay, so generally જો તમારું Ethernet થી communication થતું હોય તો for the Ethernet we have the different NIC. Okay, જો તમારું Wi-Fi થી communication થતું હોય તો for the Wi-Fi we have the different NIC. Okay, so we can say that one single machine can have a different types of MAC address. Okay, આપણું same machine we can have a different types of MAC address. One MAC address related to the Ethernet, second MAC address related to the Wi-Fi adapter. Okay, like that. Okay, so but there is a unique IP address to all the devices. Okay, IP address is always unique, but we can say that MAC address can be multiple for this machine. Okay, so what is the format of this MAC address or physical address? So we can say that the MAC address can be so MAC address can be represented by 8 octet. 8 octet means, and all are separated by columns. Okay, so you can see here that 6 octets, and 6 octets are separated by the column. Okay, so here you can see that these are some hexadecimal numbers. Okay, so in the one group we have the 2 hexadecimal numbers, and to represent the one hexadecimal number we require the 4 bit. Okay, एक hexadecimal number represent કરવા માટે we require the 4 bit. Okay, so 4 bit for A and 4 bit for 3. So we have the 8 bit in the one group. Okay, same way 4 bit for 3 and 4 bit for 4. So that is in the 8 bit in the second group. Same way in the third group we have the 8 bit, fourth group we have the 8 bit, fifth group we have the 8 bit, and the sixth group we have the 8 bit. Okay, so 8 6 we have the total 48 bit. Okay, so total 48 bit, or we can say that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 hexadecimal numbers, or we can say that 6 octets. Okay, the MAC address can be either 48 bit or the 12 hexadecimal numbers or the 6 octets. Okay, so these are the 6 octets, and all 6 octets are separated by the columns. Okay, so how to separate out this? It is not like that these are the random numbers, but there is a meaning of all these numbers. Okay, for example, in the 6 octet, the first 3 octets are identified as organizationally unique identifier, or we can say the OUI. Okay, so જે તમારું મેન્યુફેક્ચર છે, ઓકે, કોઈ પણ NIC કાર્ડનું કે કોઈ પણ વાઈફાઈ એડેપ્ટરનું જે કંઈ પણ મેન્યુફેક્ચર છે, so all these manufacturers has assigned some octets. Okay, some bits are assigned to this manufacturer. Okay, for example, let's say we have the various types of manufacturer like the Cisco, Google, or we can say the HP, Huawei. Okay, so for Dell. Okay, so બધા માટે there is one organization called IEEE. They have assigned some fixed octets for all these organizations. Okay, and this fixed bits, or we can say the fixed octets, are represented by this first three octets. Okay, so for example, let's say CC colon 46 colon DC D6. So these three octets are represented to the Cisco. That means you can say that this hardware is designed by the Cisco. Okay. If 3C5A B4, if your MAC address is starting from 3C5A B4, then we can say that it can be manufactured by Google. Okay. 3CD92B, then it is manufactured by HP. Okay. 009ACD, then it is manufactured by Huawei. Okay. The same way Dell નું, HP નું જે કંઈ પણ મેન્યુફેક્ચર છે બધા માટે they have assigned some octets, and these first three octets are represented as this manufacturer ID, or we can say that OUI, organizationally unique identifier. Okay, અને એના પછીના જે ત્રણ octet છે that is known as the NIC specifier. Okay, so then બધા organizations can use these values. Okay, so it can be suppose Dell પાસે it is manufacturing the 100 Wi-Fi adapters. Okay, so for the 100 adapter he need to use the unique NIC specifier. Okay, so this all the last three octets are represented as NIC specifier that are unique to every devices within the manufacturer. Within the manufacturer they are unique. Okay, so Google ma suppose 3C5A B4 and એના પછીના જે ત્રણ octet છે. Okay, so that can be different for the different types of adapters. Okay, so this is the syntax of the MAC address. Okay. Now we need to talk about the ARP. ARP is a very important protocol. The reason is it is used to find out the MAC address of the next hop, or we can say the next device. Okay, so what is need of ARP? You can say that the IP address of the next node is not helpful in moving a frame through a link. Okay, so we can't rely only on the IP address. Okay, it may possible that your data can go from the different types of paths. So in that case, we don't rely on the IP address of the next hop. Okay, so for that we require the MAC address of the next devices. Okay, so we can say that, just wait a minute, the IP address of the next node is not helpful in moving a frame through a link. We need the link layer address of the next node, and this is the time when ARP becomes helpful. Okay, so how the ARP is going to be work? So ARP accept an IP address from the IP protocol. Okay, so we will see this IP protocol in the network layer. So from the IP protocol, it is accepting the IP address. Then from this IP address, it is fetching the destination IP address. Okay, and using that, it is generating the ARP request. Okay, and in the response, we are getting the ARP reply. So what is the advantage of this ARP request and ARP reply? This ARP request and ARP reply maps the address to the corresponding link layer address. We can map the destination IP to the corresponding link layer address and passes it to the data link layer. Okay, so we can say that ARP is a protocol of the network layer. ARP is a protocol of the network layer, but mainly it is responsible for link layer addresses. Mainly it is responsible for link layer addresses. So that's why we are learning this ARP protocol on this link layer, on the data link layer. Okay, so we can say that on the network layer, we have the total 4 protocol: ICMP, IGMP, IP, and ERP. Okay, so this ERP protocol we are learning in the data link layer. This IP, ICMP, and IGMP we learn in the network layer. Okay, so how this ERP is going to be work? So ERP is fetching the IP address from the IP protocol, and based on that, it is getting the destination MAC address and that destination MAC address is providing to the data link area. So here you can get the idea. Okay, for example, we have the four system, that is the system A, system B, and we have the system C and system D. Okay, uh, we can give the number like the N1, N2, N3, and N4. Okay, node 1, node 2, node 3, and node 4. Okay, we have the default router that is connected through the 4 interface. Okay, the router is connecting to system A, then router is connecting to node N1, then N4, N3, and N2. Okay, now what is going to be happen, that there is a link between N1 and N4, there is a link between N1 and N2, link between N1 and N3. Okay, now system A system B ને કંઈ પણ ડેટા મોકલાવો છે. System A want to send something to system B. Okay, so system A require the MAC address of the system B. Okay, system A require the MAC address of system B. So for that, what the system A will do? System A will use the ERP request packet. Okay, so how this ERP request is packet is generated? તો આપણે પ્રેક્ટિકલમાં જોયેલું કે in the ERP request packet we have the destination IP address. Okay, તો અહીંયા જે પણ ERP request packet generate થશે એમાં destination IP માં કોનું IP હશે? Destination IP, we have the IP address of system B, and this ERP request packet is broadcast to the every devices. Okay, like system A is broadcasting this ERP request packet to the N4, N3, and N2. બધાને આ પેકેટ મળશે ERP request packet. Okay, now N4, N3, and N2 all will check જે ERP request packet આવ્યું છે એમાં destination IP કયું છે? તો N4 જોશે કે destination IP મારું નથી, તો N4 will reject that packet. Okay, so આપણે જોયું કે ક્રોસ કરીને આવી જતું હતું. ઓકે, જ્યારે આપણે ERP request packet N4 અને N3 ને મળશે, so N4 and N3 will not accept, કારણ કે જે destination IP છે એ N4 અને N3 પોતાના IP સાથે મેચ નહીં થશે. So N4 will reject that packet. Okay, N3 will also reject that packet, but only N2 will accept that packet. N2 will accept that packet. Reason is જે કંઈ ERP request packet આવી છે એમાં destination IP address છે that is matching with system B IP address, or we can say N2 નો જે IP address છે તેની સાથે અને જે destination IP માં જે IP address આવ્યું છે તે બંને વસ્તુ મેચ થઈ જશે. That's why system B is accepting the ERP request packet. Okay, so now ERP request packet જો accept કરે તો એના રિસ્પોન્સમાં પણ કંઈ ને કંઈ મોકલાવવું પડે આને. તો રિસ્પોન્સમાં શું મોકલાવશે? System B will send his own MAC address. System B will send its own MAC address. Okay, so you can see here that we have the ERP reply packet, and this ERP reply packet is having the MAC address of system B. Okay, but now we know the path to reach to A, so system B can directly send that ERP reply to the system A. Now system A will get the MAC address of system B. Okay, system A ને system B નું MAC address મળી જાય, and then on this all system we have the concept of ERP cache. Okay, so in the ERP cache, okay, we are storing this mapping કે system B નું IP address છે તેનું corresponding MAC address આ છે. Okay, now network layer પરથી કોઈ પણ ડેટા આવે કે એમાં IP address છે device B નું IP address આ છે. Okay, so then using those data we can directly send our data to system B. Okay, the reason is system A is now knowing the MAC address of system B. Okay, so and the thing is this ERP request and ERP reply is performed only once. Okay, when we want to know the MAC address of the next devices, then we need to perform the ERP request and ERP reply. એકવાર આપણને MAC address ખબર પડી જાય next devices નું, then we can use this MAC address for all future communication. જ્યાં સુધી આપણું communication complete ના થાય ત્યાં સુધી આપણે system B નું MAC use કરી શકીએ. Okay, okay, so this is all about the ERP request and ERP reply. The thing to remember is there are three main points to remember about ERP. Okay, ERP is used to find out the MAC address of the next devices, and for that it is using the IP address of that devices. Okay, so ERP is generally providing the mapping from destination IP to the destination MAC. Okay, The second thing to remember about ERP is ERP request is broadcast. ERP request is broadcast. That means ERP request is broadcast to the all the devices connected to the system number A. Okay. While the ARP reply is unicast, मतलब જે સિસ્ટમ સાથે આપણું ડેસ્ટિનેશન આઈપી મેચ થયું છે તે સિસ્ટમ આપણને રિપ્લાય પ્રોવાઈડ કરશે. ઓકે, સો ARP reply is unicast. Okay, this is all about the ARP, and by that way we are completing with our module number 3, that is our data link layer. Okay, so in the data link layer, mainly we have focused on the various responsibilities of the data link layer. We have started with the error control. In the error control, we have seen about the error detection and error correction technique. In the error detection, we have the parity check, and we have also the various redundancy techniques, redundancy check. In the redundancy check, we have seen about the VRC, LRC, and CRC. VRC means vertical redundancy check, LRC means longitudinal redundancy check, and CRC means cyclic redundancy check. Okay, so you have also implemented this program in the lab, VRC, LRC, and CRC. Then also we have seen about the checksum technique, that is also used for the error detection. Okay, so this is about the error detection technique. In the error correction technique, we have seen about the Hamming code. Okay, so we have seen one example when the single bit is corrupted, how you can detect the position of that bit at the receiving side. For that, we require this Hamming code technique. Okay, so this is all about the error detection, error correction. Then we have seen about the framing technique. In the framing, we have the fixed size framing and variable size framing. In the fixed size framing, there is no need to define the boundary. In the variable size framing, we need to define the boundary. Okay, so for that, we require the two approach. One is the character oriented approach, and second one is the bit oriented approach. In the character oriented approach, we are using one escape sequence to give the boundary of your frames. That escape indicate the starting of the frame and the ending of the frame. Okay, there is a problem in this character oriented approach, that is known as the byte stuffing. So for that, we have used the escape sequence. Okay, and okay, so just mistake, there is one mistake, that we are using the flag. We are using the flag for indicating the boundary of the frame, that is the starting frame, that is the ending frame. Okay, but if the flag is appearing in your data, then we require the escape sequence. Okay, so this approach is known as the byte stuffing. Okay, then second thing is, there is a problem which this with the character oriented approach, that if you are using the different encoding for the different machines, then this byte oriented approach is not sufficient. Then we need to move to the bit oriented approach. Okay, so for that also we have the flag. Okay, the flag indicates the starting of the frame and ending of the frame. The flag for this bit oriented approach is 0 followed by 61 followed by 0. Okay, but there is the same problem, that if a flag is appearing in your data, okay, so then we need to apply the bit stuffing. Okay, so 0 પછી જો 5 1 આવતા હોય, then we need to add the extra 0. So this approach is known as the bit stuffing. Okay, so this is all about the framing technique. Okay, then after we have started with the flow control technique. So in the flow control technique, we have the various protocols: simple, stop and wait, go back, and selective repeat. Okay, so we have started with the simple, that is for the noiseless channel. Then we have started with the stop and wait. So in the stop and wait, there is a problem of the duplicate frame. So for that, we have assigned the sequence number and the acknowledgement number. Okay, so this approach is known as the stop and wait ARQ. Okay, so this is all about the, then we have seen the small concept like the PG backing. Okay, and lastly, today we have discussed about the addressing technique. So in the addressing technique, we have the MAC address. That MAC address is of the 48 bit, and it is represented by the 6 octets, or we can say that 12 hexadecimal numbers. And these first 3 octets represent the manufacturer number, and the last 3 octets represent the unique NIC numbers. Okay, now Data link layer is responsible for hop-to-hop delivery, and to know the MAC address of the next hop, we require the ERP protocol. So ERP protocol is working by the ERP request and ERP reply. ERP request is broadcast while ERP reply is unicast. Okay, so this is all about the data link layer, and by that way I will consider the end of the module number 3. Okay, so I will upload this slide today. Okay, and the quiz for this module number 3 will be on today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Let's keep it on the next Monday. Let's keep it on the next Monday. You can have 1 week time to complete all the things related to the module number 3. Okay, so on the next Monday at 10:45, okay, we have the quiz of module number 3. Okay, and meanwhile also provide you some assignment. Okay, so